Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's headlines, Guatemala Tzu Chi Volunteers is holding a free clinic in Santa Sofia of San Jose Panula to help treat 1,200 patients. We meet the couple teachers Wang Zijian and Chen Peiwen at Nantou Qinghai Elementary who are helping their students realize their dreams. And we see how the love and care of Tzu Chi volunteers is helping a widow in Yunlin overcome her loss. We start today's show in Guatemala, where the local Tzu Chi liaison office was invited by the mayor's wife at San Jose Panula to hold a free clinic in Santa Sofia. The community has a population of about 7,000 people, with most living in poverty. This time around, the clinic was joined by 25 doctors and 83 volunteers, and in just one day, they treated 1,200 patients.
While Tzu Chi volunteers are setting up the venue, there are already long lineups in front of the doors. The community of Santa Sofia in San Jose Panula city of Guatemala has a population of 7,000 people. Early in the morning, local residents are already waiting for their turn to see a doctor. The children are very curious and a little afraid, but knowing that the doctors can cure their sickness, they carefully follow instructions. This time, the free clinic provides dental work, ophthalmology, and orthopedics to local residents, many who previously could not afford to see a doctor. Seeing her residents suffering, the wife of the mayor of the city of San Jose Panula sought Tzu Chi's help. The free health clinic was joined by 25 doctors and 4 nursing staff. Now, with the help from doctors and volunteers, residents here can finally take steps to regain their health.
In the United States San Bernardino Valley of Los Angeles, California, where most of the residents are low-income families and can't afford medical services, the U.S. TEMA team held a large-scale 3-day free clinic. Many residents arrived early in the morning for a spot in line to receive treatments.
It's early in the morning and there is already a long line waiting for Tzu Chi's free clinic to open. Some have been waiting for hours.
When did you come over here this morning? What time?
I got here at 4 o'clock.
This Tzu Chi free clinic is set up inside an elementary school in San Bernardino Valley of Los Angeles County, California. Residents here are mainly low-income families who don't have money for health care.
A helping hand. I'm just lending a helping hand so she can concentrate on filling out her forms.
As the free clinic falls on a weekend, it becomes a whole family event for both the doctors and patients alike. Like Chinese medicine doctor Chen Xingong, who brought along his pharmacist daughter.
My father is here for the free clinic, so I came along. By doing good deeds, I will feel happier when I return to my job.
As it happens to be a holiday weekend, entertainments like promoting vegetarianism with delicious snacks and flower arrangement using milk cartons or other reusable plastic containers are also available. The interactions between TEMA members and residents are inspirational to their Canadian counterparts who are here to observe and learn.
Seeing all the doctors and nurses always carrying a smile, no matter how tired they are, is the most unforgettable for me.
I'm amazed at the volume of people and how well it's been organized and how they put it together.
Today's free clinic started at 6 a.m. and it's already 6 p.m., but it's not over yet. It's tiring, but very fulfilling.
Moving to the Philippines, where many schools are starting a new semester in June. Unfortunately, due to the economic slump, many students were forced to drop out of school. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers visited 5 local Chinese schools with boxes of stationery.
As the new semester begins, volunteers from the Philippines Tzu Chi chapter visit the local Chinese schools with stationery. Students are very happy to receive the supplies from Tzu Chi. Due to the economic slump, many students can't even afford their tuition.
Crayons, paper,
I received
notebook,
crayons, paper, notebook, ball pens, and colored papers.
Po.
Thank you.
Our school has lost many students this year. Many of them dropped out of school because they don't have enough money to pay tuition.
Due to their financial difficulties, 3 students who excel academically were forced to drop out. Luckily, Tzu Ji has reached out a helping hand. During the distribution, 83-year-old volunteer Xu Shuxia smiles at each student she met along the way.
For needy students, we provide them with school supplies. We also look into their living conditions to see if they need any further assistance.
As the new semester begins, the volunteers promise to use their smiles to encourage these students to work even harder.
Children of the DaAi Elementary School in Nantou County's DaAi Township are in a unique position to realize their dreams thanks to the music education they are receiving. Behind these dreams, however, stand 2 teachers, Wang Zijian and Chen Peiwen. Every day after school, these teachers lead the children in their practice of the violin, devoting their time, energy and resources to make sure these children have the tools and instruction necessary to realize their dreams. Amid the sounds of cicadas, this 4th-year math class is just starting. Classes here in the mountains are lively and matched by the children's enthusiasm. The teacher Wang Zijian seems to be just a larger version of the children.
We love to play. It is so much fun. I never feel like I'm a teacher. I prefer that they just see me as a friend.
Wang's wife, Chen Peiwen, is also a teacher at the school. A teacher of music and the fine arts at the school, Chen Peiwen also loves giving the children a haircut.
I don't know what it means to be a good teacher. I just try to treat them like I would my own children. These small acts show the children that we care for them.
Although these children living in the mountains have potential, many don't have the opportunities to make use of it. 4 years ago, one student saw Miss Chen playing the violin and asked if she could teach him. That day, she went down the mountain to buy one for him to practice on.
At the beginning, I bought 4 violins. That was the most I ever spent on the behalf of others. When I was spending the money, however, I never once thought that I was losing anything.
With violins in hand, the children have a way to realize their dreams. Although music lessons are expensive, here at DaAi Elementary School, they are free. And unable to afford more violins, Peiwen's husband Zijian studied how to make violins, and now many of those that the children use are made by him. And there is another important task at hand. At the beginning, the couple didn't have too many expectations, but simply shared what they knew. But once the children had learned all they could teach, they had no choice but to ask music teachers from the surrounding cities to give the children extra classes.
During the weekends, he will drive the children to Houli to have class. This teacher is in Nantou.
I teach piano. I hope that I can help. Teacher Chen said that there were people that wanted to study the piano, and I thought that was just perfect.
This teacher is in Taichung.
Don't wait until you have retired and are old to volunteer.
If the children are a kite, then music is the string that allows them to fly straight and true. However, many consider the teaching couple to be complete idiots.
They give everything, their time, money, heart to this cause. even to the point of going in depth. It is truly amazing.
我就常开玩笑，有一天我怕。
I'm afraid that one day we will see on Yahoo Auction teacher Zijian auctioning himself off.
事情是这样，你要做这个事情，你不可能。
It's like this. If you want to do something like this, you can't treat it just like a job. You give them a seed, but you have to watch over them at every stage until it grows. My goal is to guide them till they reach college.
With the classes finally over, the two teachers drive the students home, putting an end to another full and fruitful day. In Johor Bahru, Malaysia, Tzu Chi University Continuing Education is in its 4th year. An art exhibition was held on June 23rd at the local Jingsi Hall. Some students performed music, some displayed calligraphy, and some were selling works to raise funds for Penang's Dialysis Center and Education Center Construction Fund.
Here at the art exhibition of Johor Bahru, Malaysia, Tzu Chi's continuing education student, Ling Hao, who is over 70 years old, took calligraphy classes to make up for her regrets of never learning how to read.
The more I write, the more I like it. When I started, my characters were not pretty. I never learned how to write when I was young.
When my mother was young, she was sold by my grandmother as an adopted child bride. She has never been educated or taught how to write characters. She never had an opportunity to write. Now her daughter-in-law says that she is amazed that mother's calligraphy is so beautiful.
She is patient. She practices one character repeatedly. Unlike other students who are impatient, they will practice a short while and ask to switch characters.
Some students display artwork for charity fundraising, and a Zither teacher chooses a few photographic pictures to inspire students.
任何事都是从一个决
All
心。
successful endeavors start with determination. The same principle can be applied to learning art or music. It is built upon bit by bit, starting with basic foundations and adding on layer after layer.
Never stop learning, even when we are old, is a spirit that we should all strive for. Harmonica, Zither, Chinese flute. Performers are varied in age and gender, but the one thing they have in common is giving a wholehearted performance that everyone enjoys.
Next, we meet Ran Si Xue Shui from Vietnam, who married a Taiwanese husband more than 10 years ago. However, not long after she fell pregnant, Ran's husband was diagnosed with liver illness and passed away a few years later. Luckily, it was then that the widow met Tzu Chi and came to a turning point in life.
Like every day over the past 10 years, Ran Si Shui Xue from Vietnam has been working day and night to make ends meet. Ran's husband became ill soon after she gave birth to her daughter.
My husband was ill for about 6 to 7 years and he couldn't work, so I had to work. I have a child and husband to care for and also a mortgage to pay.
Though her husband passed on, she decided to stay in Taiwan.
It is our fate, but how do I continue on with life?
And Ran also became nostalgic for her hometown. Luckily, the widow has her daughter to hang on to. Sui Xue is grateful to Tzu Chi volunteers for reaching out a hand in her times of despair.
Tzu Chi brothers and sisters are all really kind to me, and I'm really thankful that they pulled me out of the darkness. They bring me lots of happiness each day and care for me. I'm really grateful.
The volunteers' presence lightens up the mother and daughter pair.
Every time after we visit her, we gain a deeper understanding of the knowing and cherishing of our blessings. Whenever we come, we see how strong she is, and that spirit deeply moves all of us. regardless of how late it is into the night. Sometimes, when others are all asleep, she is still up working.
Feeling sorry for the poor woman, Sui Xue's boss helps her by providing more job opportunities, and her neighbors always try to share their food with her.
Here, take some of this watermelon. We are neighbors and should take care of each other. Her husband passed away, so I do what I can to take care of her.
Grandma is really nice to me. She treats me like her own daughter. So I asked if I can call her mom, as she's just like my mother.
Though Ransi Sui Xue became a widow at a young age, she is surrounded by the love of Tzu Chi volunteers and her neighbors.
People are generally not well off on our street, so we're coming together with Tzu Chi's brothers and sisters to help. I said I want to help others too. Every month I put away a little bit of money. I save up what I can to help those in greater need.
Rest assured, Ransi Sui Xue and her daughter will not be alone on the path in life.
In February of this year, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhong Cainan was diagnosed with lung cancer. While her family was still coping with the news, Zhong had already put down her worries. Zhong said that she will continue her volunteer work regardless of her sickness.
This is Tzu Chi volunteer Zhong Cainan, who was recently diagnosed with lung cancer. However, looking at her face, no one can tell that she is a cancer patient.
Until now, it has still been hard to accept the fact that my mother is sick. I often ask myself, how come the Buddha doesn't bless her?
In February of this year, Zhong Cainan found out that she had lung cancer. Instead of being miserable, Zhong has a different view of her sickness.
When my children took me to chemotherapy, I told them that everything was meant to be. I am sick, but I can still do Tzu Chi.
During her chemotherapy in Taiwan, Zhong says the love from her Tzu Chi family has given her strength to fight her sickness. She also uses this chance to teach volunteers how to make handicrafts.
The master told me that I need to open up my heart. She says that I need to let the Buddha take care of my heart and the doctors to take care of my body.
Now back in Indonesia, Zhong continues to volunteer at various Tzu Chi events. Her daughter, who takes care of her, says she's very touched by her mother's determination.
My mother is sick, but her mind is still full of wisdom. She cherishes her time to participate at various events.
How do we face impermanence? Zhong Cainan's story gives us a good example to learn from.
To Malaysia, but in Kuala Lumpur, teachers at the DaAi Educare Center, along with 32 students, took to the streets to pick up garbage and collect recyclables. Let's take a look.
Wow, we have picked up so much garbage.
Filling the bags with garbage and recyclables, children from the DaAi Educare Center in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, are picking up rubbish from the streets around their school.
I saw many places with lots of rubbish and also some recyclables. I think there is less garbage and more recyclables now. Our Jingsi aphorism is to give with a happy mind, to devote with a grateful heart, and we want the kids to experience that in this activity. Through cleaning the streets around our school, we help the children get in the habit of not throwing rubbish around.
Through personal experience, these youngsters learn the importance of conservation work.
What did I pick up? 10 cents. What do we do with the 10 cents when we go back? We'll put it in a coin bank to help others.
In their 1 hour of street cleaning, these children all relish in the joy of giving and all vow to continue to safeguard the planet. For this year's Global Media Volunteer Training Seminar held from June 25th to 28th, over 130 participants from some 18 countries came back to take part, of which 27 are from China. Volunteers all vow to share what they have learned when they return home.
那个三脚架会穿帮就不要它 zoom in 哈，那是2个人，然后呢桌上的录影机都要。
With 18 years of experience as a media volunteer, Dai Duan is patiently guiding and passing on whatever knowledge he has to his fellow volunteers. Chen Wei-qing, who resides in China's Shanghai, is going through trainings to become a commissioner and vows to devote himself in spreading Tzu Chi's work.
I want to share what I've learned here when I go back to Shanghai and put together a great team of media volunteers.
With a camera in hand and a personal tutor, over 130 volunteers from some 18 countries are here at the Global Media Volunteers Training Seminar to learn how to take photos, record videos, and also how to write a good article.
There are many special moments which our brothers and sisters from the media team have seized the opportunity to capture them.
We're quite short on people who can videotape and edit the films, so I must learn what I can.
Media volunteers around the globe are all working hard to capture goodness, truth and beauty in hopes of spreading Tzu Chi's seeds of love. At this year's second Tzu Chi Overseas Volunteers Training Seminar, Queensland Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Guolan from China also took part. Despite becoming a single mother with a son to raise and being diagnosed with a spinal illness in 2008, the devoted volunteer says it is the Master's Dharma and the love of the Tzu Chi family that is giving her the strength to go on.
Walking unsteadily, this is Wu Guolan, who suffered from spinal disc herniation since 2008. This year, her illness worsened, and she has been wearing a back rod ever since. She says the love from Tzu Chi has given her a lot of strength.
The Master's Dharma, love from the Tzu Chi family, and my own will have made me stronger.
In spite of her sickness, Wu Guolan says Tzu Chi has taught her to think positively and help her get rid of her arrogant and wasteful ways. Now in charge of Kunshan Tzu Chi chapter's recycling mission, Wu says she has learned to be humble.
I put my heart into everything I do. I learn to be humble and ask questions if I don't understand anything. By doing so, I am disciplining myself too.
During the Overseas Volunteer Training Seminar in Taiwan, Wu Guolan saw many examples of how volunteers across the world are doing their best to spread Tzu Chi's missions. She says when she goes back home, she will also try her best to promote recycling and Tzu Chi's humanistic values.
Many parents send their children to Sunday Chinese schools, hoping they will learn to speak, read and write Mandarin. At the Tzu Chi Academy in New York City, apart from learning the Chinese language, students also learn to be filial to their parents. We join parents, teachers and students at their graduation ceremony held on June 16th. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.